On this week's show, it looks like the referral program has breathed its last again. Giga Berlin gets an opening date for tours. We look into a small tiff on how battery packs should be repaired, and much more. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 666 for the week of September 19th, 2021. We kick this week off with actually some bad news, and this comes from Drive Tesla Canada. The Tesla referral program has been a staple of the company and owners for a long time and has gone through various iterations in its time. When I came in, there were set rewards each period for the number of referrals that delivered. This then switched to free Supercharger credits and raffle entries to win vehicles for a while. Following that, we got to the current day iteration where owners simply accrued free Supercharger credits for referrals. But now we've reached the end of the road, as it were, as Tesla has fully discontinued the program for Tesla vehicles as of September 18th. Opening the loot box in the Tesla app displayed the following message for a while, which has since been replaced with the remaining referral program, which I'll get to in a moment. Quote, "We would like to thank all the loyal Tesla supporters who help us every day to achieve our mission by sharing their enthusiasm for Tesla with friends and family. In 2020 alone, Tesla owners helped accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy by avoiding 5 million metric tons of CO2e emissions." End quote. The message does say until further notice, but let's be real, Tesla is well beyond the point that they need this program. In the early days, this was a great incentive and a low-cost way to reward those spreading the good word about Tesla. But as Elon said already, there comes a point where this is unsustainable, and they likely had long passed it. I wouldn't hold my breath to see the program return. While the vehicle reward is gone, the solar referral program does remain, but even there, it's dialed back to only solar roof referrals. Each one of those can still net you a cool $500 cash. Tidbit number 2 this week will be one for our friends in Germany to know about. This story comes to us from Torque News. It would appear that Tesla will be having a sort of county fair style grand opening to the public for Giga Berlin. We first saw the news in a tweet from GF4 Tesla. The tweet, translated to English by Twitter, says, quote, "Hello Berlin, hello Brandenburg. Tesla opens its doors to get to know each other and offers the neighborhood an insight into Giga Berlin. Giga Berlin Brandenburg County Fair and Factory Tour on October 9th. Registration link, https://giga-fest.com." End quote. Torque News snagged the official announcement from the registration site, which gave a touch more detail, saying, quote, "Tesla opens the doors of its Gigafactory in Grünheide on October 9th, 2021, and invites citizens of Berlin and Brandenburg to a county fair. Join us to experience the most advanced electric vehicle production plant in the world. You'll have the opportunity to see behind the scenes during a factory tour, visit on-site booths, join various activities, and ride along in Model Y, our newest electric car to arrive in Europe. Local food trucks will provide catering during the event." End quote. Unfortunately, super die-hard Tesla fans that would like to take a trip are excluded, as only residents of Brandenburg or Berlin are able to attend. You must be at least 16 years old to get in without being accompanied by an adult, and there are COVID restrictions as well, as you must be able to meet one of the 3G rules and have proof of this at the entrance, either via an approved app or hard copy. Photos of a vaccination certificate will not be enough. Additionally, masks will still be required indoors and among denser crowds. For those that can attend, I certainly wish you well and congratulations. Ensure you get registered as soon as possible at the registration site to get your tickets, as the site itself does say that tickets are not guaranteed. This next one is a weird story, and it comes direct from two rather notable Tesla personalities. The topic at hand is the subject of repairing Tesla battery packs when issues arise. Recently, as has even been covered on this show and on my own Twitter feed, Tesla has had some owners on the hook for over 20 large to replace a full battery pack, despite much information that would seem to indicate this could be done by repairing modules for a lot cheaper. Rich Rebuilds, an old school Tesla YouTuber which has rebuilt more than one Tesla from the ground up, has shown exactly that with his company, The Electrified Garage, performing a repair on a battery pack at the module level, saving a customer in excess of $15,000. However, Jason Hughes, also known as @WK057 on Twitter, an old school Tesla hacker and tinkerer in his own right, which Rich acknowledges learning a lot from, begs to differ. In a tweet thread much longer than this show can cover, he details exactly why this is a bad idea. From the start of the thread, he says, quote, "I can't believe this is being touted as a fix. You can't replace individual modules in an S and X pack. There's no way to match them well enough for a long-term fix. Might last a few months, but will invariably die again. Have tried it a half dozen times. Best run was about a year. I mean, really, there's a reason Tesla doesn't offer such a repair. If all it took were swapping out a couple modules, don't you think they'd offer this? The tolerances required by the BMS for 100% safe operation don't allow the discrepancies introduced by oddball modules. End quote. Check out Rich's video linked and Jason's thread for the full story, but it seems that this isn't really a settled thing as we may have thought. Jason is well known for telling the good and the bad of Tesla, and for him to be out on Tesla's side is a strong endorsement that Tesla is actually doing the right thing in replacing the full pack. This is, of course, contrary to Elon's own comments implying that module replacement was not only possible, but the way to go back in 2019. The tweet said, quote, Model 3 drive unit and body is designed like a commercial truck for a million-mile life. Current battery modules should last 300 to 500,000 miles or 1,500 cycles. Replacing modules, not pack, will only cost $5,000 to $7,000, end quote. So who the heck is to believe here? I really have no idea. Elon would seem to be the final word, but Tesla/Elon have been pretty mum on these pack replacements, despite many outlets with larger pull than myself asking the same question. Obviously, I'll monitor to see if we get any official word, and I'll let you know as soon as we have any updates. Tidbit number 4 this week is really kind of 4A and 4B as we get some tidbits from Teslarati regarding Model Y development. The first story comes as it appears Giga Texas pushes ever closer to opening every day. Video from the factory under construction shows several castings of the Model Y just chilling in a storage area, meaning that the massive casting machines that punch these guys out are now in their testing phase to ensure operation is working as designed. Additionally, a picture of a hauler with several castings in the back was spotted on site, though the destination for the castings was unknown. While it's unfortunate that Cybertruck production start has been pushed to 2022, it would seem we're pretty close to getting Model Ys on the road coming out of Texas rather than California. In an interesting sister story to this, Tesla has also simultaneously filed to expand Model Y production at Fremont. Found in a February regulatory filing with the city of Fremont, Tesla looks to add 64,000 square feet to the factory, encompassing the current General Assembly 4.5 line, which is the infamous tent which was originally home to Model 3 performance production. It has since shared duty to produce both Model 3 and Model Y, and now Tesla is looking to finish off this area in a proper building. But in addition to that, more recently was another filing entitled 4.5 Expansion among a couple of other filings, looking to make the area even bigger. It seems a little strange that they built an entire new factory whose purpose is building Model Y, but they're looking to expand Model Y production also at the existing factory. One of two things here is true in my mind. Either Model Y demand is well beyond what even we thought as fans, or the whole of Model Y production is about to be repurposed at Fremont, and this expansion will support that. This may or may not be one we ever get a good answer for, but if it gets out there, I'll certainly let you know. Lastly, we take a pit stop at the Tesla online store to see a new accessory which I featured way back when I got my Model S, and Drive Tesla Canada brought my attention to them. Back then, this didn't exist, but an awesome guy was making bespoke Model S lighted door sill plates that illuminated the Model S logo and tied into existing car wiring easily enough. They were inexpensive, of great quality, and are still running in my car today. Now, Tesla is an official version of this, although a bit less complex. The Tesla version runs on a battery and is controlled by a magnetic switching system to kick the light on and off. Tesla has these available for Model S, Model 3, and Model Y, though strangely not for Model X. If you're interested, you can score them for $250 per set on the Tesla shop. That'll do it for this week's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. As always, I have a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They're Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, Dorian Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Zortech LED Canada, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, and Brad Lettner. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next week, keep it charged and hit the road.